So this is like one of my favorite things to observe and watch is different energies, masculine energy, feminine energy in myself and also in the people around me. So tonight I'm at a club/bar and I'm super just like flowy, dancing the whole time, and I realize I'm not approached by any men. So my old way of being is like, okay, just go into your masculine energy and go up to them and do what you have to do. So in me, what happened was my energy just got like extra, and I was like overpowered energy, and I was using that, and like millions of guys were talking to me, no guys that I wanted, but they were just easy to talk to because I just gave them energy. And after a while, I just got like, what am I doing? Like, I feel drained right now. So I went and sat down and I was observing it keep on coming up and trying to fix the situation. I just watched it. And then I sat down and I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm going mad. And so I went up to a guy, this guy who was just dancing. And I was like, and I just told him. I told him why, like what was going on in my mind. And this is what he said to me. This is the whole point of me making this video. He said, the reason why, well, first he came for my shoulders, he came for my not smiling, and he says the reason why men don't approach you and the whole problem with women is because women are looking for a guy to take care of them. They are raised to believe that guys should take care of them. And I was like, well, I don't know what generation you're in because a lot of women in my generation make a lot of money. And he's like, and they make a lot of money and they still want guys to take care of them. Is that true? And I'm somebody that had this in my consciousness. This was something that needed to be brought to the surface, right? Because I've been struggling with this. I was like, yeah. And he started dancing. He had like a happy dance. And I was like, and then we had a conversation and finished it off. And it ended with me feeling so healed and secure within my feminine energy, and I was just so grateful because through that conversation he brought his masculine energy into me. And yeah, it wasn't an easy conversation. He came for my throat, but I didn't get defensive. I just stood there and listened because I knew it was a healing moment for me. And yeah, I just danced, smiled it out, and I left, and here I am now. So I'm just sharing that because I feel like, hey, maybe it'll help somebody else that, it's just maybe you're a really pretty girl and guys don't approach you, or this might be something that's in your consciousness. And
yeah, I don't know, man. This was not for me. She's going to give a lot of guys a headache.
Okay, this is a serious question for the guys. I have this conversation with my female friends, I think, like, I'm not even kidding, once a week. So I'm just curious what the real reasoning is behind it. But most of my girlfriends say that whenever they're out, they never get approached by her. And maybe like one girl in the friend group who does get approached, it's not like she's a total standout from the group. But for some reason, like a specific girl might just like get hit on a lot. I don't know. But not even in a biased way. I think that some of my friends are very, very beautiful. Like, actually, I'm not just saying that to be nice. So it makes me really curious as to why guys don't go up to them. Is it like, one, even if you see an attractive girl, like you're just hanging out with your friends, you don't really care? Two, you're just simply not attracted to her? Three, maybe you like think she's just like in a relationship, or like she's just super standoffish and like bitchy looking, or like in general you just like don't want to deal with any type of rejection. Like, is it the guy's point of view, or is it just like the girls are putting out this weird vibe, or like just guys don't find them attractive? I don't know. But most of my friends like want to meet guys in person, but then they go out and just like nothing really happens.
So to address the few comments that I got like this before I hop into work real quick, whistling at someone is not a compliment, and there are hundreds of women in the comments saying that. I don't understand how men can continuously ignore women's opinions and think that they're still going to get attention from them, and that they're still going to get some type of good reaction. If a woman is saying they hate it, maybe you should listen to them and you would get more women's attention in a positive manner.
Some of them will even say, "Oh, I'm used to girls walking up to me."
Insane. But
What happened to
not
your
insane.
What happened to your natural instinct? Is that gone now? Are men just choosing not to walk up to women? Is that a thing?
Kind of a thing. Fear is real. Mental health is real. The anxiety of trying to approach someone is real.
Millennials, if you didn't know, they're the age range here. They would have had to been born between 1981 and 1996
Yes.
to be a millennial. Now let's look at some of the top dating apps right now. The creator of Tinder, Sean Rad, is 37. The creator of Hinge is Justin McLeod at 39. And the creator of Bumble is Whitney Wolf Hurd at 34. Now you got to think to yourself here, a lot of Gen Zs are talking about how the streets are trash, there's no one out there right now. And a lot of them used to subscribe to dating apps. They've given up on dating apps. And now there's the same people that don't even know how to date.
Okay.
How many Gen Zs have you come across that would genuinely say, I don't even know how to walk up to a woman. I don't know how to pursue a woman. I'm not used to that. Some of them will even say, "Oh, I'm used to girls walking up to me."
Insane. But
What happened to
not
your
insane.
What happened to your natural instinct? Is that gone now?
Just watching these clips, these women are self-absorbed. They really are. They really think that they're so special that a man should just brave the elements and come talk to them. Men keep on telling them, y'all need to bring y'all's ego down 7 to 8 notches. Y'all are way too high up there. Y'all's heads are way too high in the clouds, and y'all really don't need to be acting like that.
Ma'am, hi. You look good.
Thanks.
What's your name? I do not have time for that shit. I ain't gonna lie, that's how you do it every time. Every time.
Do you know where I can find your phone number? I saw you and I thought you were pretty. What's your name?
Pass.
What's your name?
I don't give it out.
I like that message. Know when to walk away. I think a lot of men are doing exactly that. These women are not really even paying this man any mind. Like, she's just sitting there, just still on her phone, not really engaging. She's not really even looking at him a lot of times. She's kind of looked up to acknowledge him, then she's back on her phone and he just walks away. Good for you. And once again, they would want a man to they're wanting a man to stop what he's doing, to drop what he's doing and come protect them. And they can't even really look at him. I'm not really even engaging with you, right? Maybe some small talk, but you're expected to just drop everything that you have going on and protect me and make sure that my life is preserved. How does that work? With no relationship, with no rapport? What do you expect a man to act like?
Okay, can somebody please explain to me further what the hell happened in the last 8 years that I've been out of the dating pool that men are so afraid to approach women in public? And I was even having a conversation with a man last night about this, and I asked him, why don't you? And his answer like broke my heart. He said he didn't want to come off as a predator.
Morgan Stanley predicted that 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be single and childless by 2030.
Tell me why I get so mad when an ugly man approaches me.
So am I like the only woman that no longer gets approached by men?
Okay, so last night I was talking to my friend and I was telling her about how I'm gonna trap a man because I'm almost 38.
Why does a man stare at you but never approach you?
Obviously, as a woman would like the men to approach me, but nowadays it hasn't been happening. Feels like the roles have been switched.
Let me tell you what I have noticed. I've noticed that when I go out, men don't approach me.
Women need to start making the first move. If anyone wants to be in a relationship, that's absolutely what has to happen. It just has to happen.
Why men have given up on women?
You may feel like you never get approached or that men never pursue you.
Guys are scared to talk to girls now. Even if they see someone, they might not want to approach you.
Men are no longer obsessed with women anymore.
The reason why so many beautiful, well-rounded women cannot find a partner is because a lot of parents failed their sons. My mom on a walk had asked me, we know so many beautiful, well-rounded girls, why are they single? I responded with, your generation was so hard on the girls. Like, we literally had to be made out of glass. We couldn't afford to make mistakes. Failure was not in our vocabulary. Like, we literally had to be perfect. So now you have this large group of women that are almost like overperforming. So now you have this large group of women who know how to take care of a home, know how to take care of themselves, are family oriented, but they also have the ambition of a man and are career focused. Overall, they are performing at standards and expectations that are so high, because back home, specifically, my parents are from India. Back home, women weren't granted the same privileges and rights back home in India. So my mom still had me performing the gender norms of a good Indian daughter, but I was encouraged to basically utilize the freedom that I had. Parents failed their sons, because while so much pressure is being put on women, nothing was put on their boys. They were and are still coddled. They're not independent, meaning that they're codependent on their parents for multiple things. Also, no sense of leadership. They're consistently relying on a system for guidance. Parents failed their sons, because while so much pressure is being put on women, nothing was put on their boys. They were and are still coddled. They're not independent, meaning that they're codependent on their parents for multiple things. Also have no sense of leadership. They're consistently relying on a system for guidance and direction instead of building like that inner voice and trying to take initiative to build their life. That's why women are single. Because not only did we have to fight life that we wanted, it was completely possible to do that. Though it was hard, it was possible. But there are men that don't want to utilize this opportunity to better themselves and like have dreams and have goals. Instead, they're looking for a partner to be a replacement for their mom.
You know, modern women continue to place themselves up on a pedestal. And let me say this, if there's one thing that modern women are going to do, it's get validation and attention, even if it has to be from themselves. If a man won't pay attention to me, if he won't give me the proper attention that I think I deserve, then I'm going to say a whole bunch of nonsense in order to inflate my ego. And I'm expecting by me continuing to act this way, then men are just going to be fooled and gaslit into following along. And eventually, whenever they do that, I'll get somebody to spin the bag on me. It hasn't worked in 30 years, but never mind that. Somebody in year 35 is going to do it for me. Delusion.
So what is it? Like, what do women need to do to be approachable?
So apparently single men are starting to become afraid to approach women in real life because they don't want to be viewed as creepy.
So it's been brought to my attention that men no longer want to come up to women anymore. Due to sex allegations, women being just so rude and disrespectful, and rejection. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know men didn't want to come up to women anymore. I'm barely finding this out. Why do women choose to cuss guys out when they come up to them and approach them? I have no idea. I apologize for that. But there's just too many fine men. And if it takes me, the women, having to come up to you guys and shooting my shot, saying what's up, being the big stepper, then I'll just have to do that. And I'm going to just start coming up to you guys and shooting out compliments and see where it takes me. So if I start coming up to y'all in the grocery store and I say, "Excuse me, sir, you are just so sexy. I want a response." Okay, I don't want none of that shy stuff.
I hate when I think a man's good looking and then I look at him and then he doesn't approach me. Like, did you not see me just look right at you? Like, that was your sign. Like, that was me shooting my shot. Like, I looked right at you. Like, I looked away pretty quickly. Like, it was kind of one of these, ooh, you know? But, like, that was your sign.
Yo, I don't see the point of approaching women or bagging women. There's no point unless you know. The only way you get her is if you already know she's into you.
So what if you're out somewhere and you find an attractive woman? You're not going to go up to her?
There's no point.
Why?
Because they choose. There's absolutely no point of, what do you mean how?
But how do you know you're not chosen if you don't go up to her?
You don't have to go up to her. When a woman wants what she wants, she shows you that she wants it.
Not all women do that.
All y'all looking at the camera, lie and say y'all don't. These women listen, there's dudes that don't gotta do nothing but breathe. Hey, I think you're so handsome. I think you're this. Women will come up to them. I used to be one of those guys. And then
Which one? Which one were you? Come on now, which one were you? The one that women used to come up to you?
Y'all can sit up there and try to shame a man all you want, but that man ain't wasted his time, energy, or resources.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Real talk, many men don't approach because they're afraid of expressing their sexual desires. In fact, a lot of them are ashamed of it because they don't want to be labeled as a creep by some crazy TikTok chick. So they refrain from doing it altogether, and then they end up being seen as not bold or masculine enough for the women they want, when in reality, they're just trying to be respectful. Ladies, I'm not defending bad behavior. One of my most uncomfortable memories is walking around Beirut in a blue fitted dress, having men gawk and whistle at me. But you have to understand, a lot of this is confusing to men. On the one hand, we ask them to leave us alone, but on the other hand, we complain that they don't approach us. So what do I propose? If you want to be approached, make it obvious. Get off your phone when you're in public, smile, and say hi. Let's be collaborative instead of contributing to the problem.
Times I would never approach a woman as a guy. If she's in the middle of a rep at a gym, wait until after, but make it short, make it direct. I don't care if you have the best intentions in the world, do not approach her if she's walking alone at night. And 3, if she is visibly upset or crying. I had a guy do this to me once. I was like visibly crying because I was searching for my cat who got out, and he was like hitting on me. Oh my God, I wanted to punch him in the face. Did I leave any out? Go ahead and comment below.
I hear what you're saying, but honestly and truly, some of these women just don't want to be approached at all. So nothing's going to work, and they're going to be rude and act as if you should have known that.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort.
There's plenty of pivotal moments. How about when a woman called a man weak for opening her car door? Or the time that men pursued women on dating apps and him saying, hey, how are you, wasn't good enough? How about the pivotal moment when a man is looking out into the open and happens to glance in a woman's direction and somehow he's undressing her with his eyes? Or how about the moment when women considered everything the bare minimum and nothing is ever good enough? Or what about the pivotal moment where men have to fix everything in a relationship to make it work and women have to simply exist? Or how about the time there was a study done that said 80% of women find men unattractive, so why would they try anymore? Or the pivotal moment where men can be accused of SA or grape at any given moment by accident just because a woman is pissed off because she was rejected? Or what about the pivotal moment that women have constantly told men that they're so undesirable that they would rather pick a bear over a human being, as if men don't have feelings? Or how about the pivotal moment that every single man that ever chased a woman was considered a simp and women simply didn't respect them or want to be with them because they're chasing and they're trying too hard? What about the pivotal moment when the nice guy gets left because he's not toxic enough? What about the pivotal moment where men can't even simply be respectful without it being considered creepy or too friendly? Or what about the time that women decided that not even Cheesecake Factory was good enough for a first date? That they didn't want to get to know men for who they are. They wanted to know how much money they made and their status. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound worth chasing.
There's like this huge problem that I've been noticing in the dating world. The good, respectful men, the men with boundaries, will not approach women because they're trying to respect their boundaries. And it is true that biologically speaking, women are far more attuned to subtleties, like body language subtleties, than men. So a lot of times, women will actually be giving off clues and cues that they want to be approached, but it's more of like they're trying to give off a vibe or something, and the man has no idea. What ends up happening is that it's the men with no boundaries, or that don't respect boundaries, or the narcissists or the creeps, that end up approaching the woman, and then the women in my life complain that it's only the creeps that approach them, when it's really we women need to be giving off way more intense. There's like this huge problem.
They always think their communication is perfect. Like, there's nothing else I could have done.
Why men don't approach women anymore. So historically, women have always waited for men to make the first move. Is he going to go in for the kiss? Is he going to hold my hand? But now, whenever I talk to my friends about their dating history, all I hear them talking about is, oh, he hasn't made a move, he's not doing anything, we're not moving forward. So on the flip side of this normally ends up in men feeling like they're getting ghosted, or that there's just being told there's no spark. And from what I'm hearing from a lot of my clients, it's not because that you're not attracted to her. It's more about fearing that you're either going to get rejected, maybe you're going to get turned down, you know, slapped in the face when you go for that first move, or even worse, like getting in trouble with the law. So you need to ask yourself, does this sound like you? The truth is, you probably missed that golden opportunity to create that spark. And she likely was giving you signals that you just didn't quite catch. Why men don't approach women.
I need to know from a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting?
Let me explain something. I am somebody who does not approach girls very often, that I don't know. Let me clarify. Why do I do this? Is it like the girl says, am I just not man enough? Maybe. Or potentially, does it have something to do with the fact that the last, I don't know, year, most of the content that we consume as men is women making it very loud and clear that they do not want men talking to them. They don't want it so bad that they want to be in a forest with a deadly bear over a man. But then when we hear them loud and clear, we take their feelings into account, we go, okay, fine, we understand, we won't talk to you. Now we're just feminine. Oh, you're waiting for the girl to come talk to you. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But then when I take your feelings into account and I go, I'm not going to approach this stranger because I can come across like a scary bear man. Now all of a sudden, I'm feminine. I am actually not man enough because I am listening to what you are basically telling me to do. I've never understood how a girl can make a video like this and act like she can't fathom why a guy would not want to approach girls anymore after seeing plenty of content that guys have heard loud and clear. You do not like us. We get it. This is why, in my opinion, a lot of the guys who are willing to approach girls are not going to be guys I feel like long term you're going to be able to date, because it shows that the guy lacks a certain amount of empathy. A group of friends who love to go and hit on girls. They literally will take time out of their weekend schedule to go to the mall, not to buy anything, just to walk around and hit on girls. And they'll get some girls' numbers. They actually do get some girls' numbers during this time. I've always wondered, and it's always fascinated me, that the girls who give out their numbers, do they not understand that a guy who is willing to just go up and approach you and just not think about the fact that maybe a girl doesn't want to be approached, probably does this to everybody, probably hits on everybody. And then you girls will want that kind of guy over a guy who's like, no, that'll make her uncomfortable. You know, I've heard loud and clear that they think we're creepy. If she's interested, she'll give me a look or do something that clearly, you know, is a little bit more showing maturity. The whole point is that there is no right answer, because you guys make countless amounts of videos talking about how you guys would rather be in a forest with a deadly bear, but then you also are going to make videos talking about how we're so feminine. We need to start approaching more random women, even when they are screaming loud and clear, do not talk to us. So which one is it? Because remember, the guys who are willing to approach you, 9 out of 10 times, they're not gonna last very long. They're doing this to everybody.
I mean, there's some of these women actually talking about they're gonna scream if a guy comes up to them, and the guy might have been coming up to help them out. You just never know. Y'all want a man to just brave through the elements and know what you're thinking whenever you're thinking it. You guys got to understand that y'all need to start thinking long term, which is what a lot of modern women don't understand that they need to be doing. That's why they be out here laying with every dude, because they don't think long term. And when you're thinking about, well, I probably need a man to protect me, I'm not saying that you shouldn't protect yourself. I'm just saying that all this screaming, oh, if he come up to me, I'm going to scream and I'm going to spray him. Oh, and then there's this new thing that I hear online where they do that little, if somebody approaches you, click boom, basically trying to say in a subtle way that I'm carrying something on me. And if a man comes up and he tries to start something, then I'm going to pull out my little toy and he's going to hear it. You'll be going to jail. You guys, once again, are demonstrating to men that you really don't know what rules look like. You really don't know the purpose of a law, probably because you don't care about it. You think that you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. That's the quickest way to get the penalty, depending on which state that you're in or life. in prison, depending on which state you're in. Y'all can't just walk around because you don't like that somebody approached you and came up to talk to you, thinking that you're going to take somebody out, thinking that you're going to eliminate somebody. Stop being weird. If somebody comes up to you and says, hey, how you doing? Want to come over and introduce myself? Or even if they're nervous, I'm sure you've been nervous at some point in time. Stop acting weird. I can see if they're being a creep, but a lot of times modern women don't even know how to tell what a creep is. It's anybody that they don't like looking at.
Are actually approaching women in society today when it comes to relationships or dating. And this is going to be a tough pill to swallow, but it's because of how the women interact with men when men try to respectfully approach you and get to know you. These are the types of responses I get from other men in their interactions with women. The number one thing I hear from them is fear of rejection. No surprise there. No one likes to get metaphorically slapped in the face when you're trying to meet a beautiful woman and you're just trying to have a general conversation to see if they want to connect with you. Men think that they're not worthy enough. That because their life seems normal, the women are just disinterested in them. And this is always a good one. We come off looking like a creep just because we want to have a normal conversation. I keep hearing rejection, rejection, rejection. More or less, we just become a bother. And then this one is my favorite of all. Men not feeling like they can live up to the standards of what this individual wants the man to have. I'm not 6 foot. I don't make 6 figures. I don't do this, this, and this. I don't have this IQ. I don't have this kind of job. I don't speak this way. I don't look this way. I don't have the jawline. It's unending. Because society has conditioned women to foster this idea, this environment that leads to all of the singleness and the sole reason why men do not want to be in a relationship today.
There've been a few comments like this where guys have said they won't approach because they don't want to make a woman feel uncomfortable. I don't quite get comments like this because talk to women in a way that you would any other female in your life. Your female friends, your sister, your mum. Like, you wouldn't be talking to any of them in a way that makes them feel uncomfortable unless you're being aggressive in some way. A simple hi, hello, how you going doesn't make people feel uncomfortable. That's how a normal person talks to another person. But if you're not getting anything back, then I would stop the conversation there and step back. You will make her feel uncomfortable though if you don't leave her alone when she is clearly not interested. Or if you come on too strong. So keep it simple. Talk to girls the way you would talk to any other female in your life that, you know, is close to you. It doesn't have to be any serious intentions behind it. It could be as simple as just trying to get to know them and being friendly. There've been a few comments like this where guys have said they won't approach because they don't want to make...
I don't know what man needs to answer this question, but how come when y'all see a woman and you see that she's not in the mood to speak to anybody, that's the best time y'all think to pursue her? If I don't look like I want to be spoken to, why are you telling me to put a smile on my face? Want me to be walking around like this? I don't know what man needs to answer this question, but how...
Women are failing men. Ladies, the reason that no man is approaching you is because of you, not them. I did the dirty work and asked men why they were afraid to talk to you and got over 5,000 responses. And there was definitely a common theme. Let's read some. I would say fear of rejection and being humiliated in front of everyone. I am not worthy enough to talk to women. I just have nothing to offer them except boring, normal life. Rejection paralyzes me. Current culture feels like I will be perceived as a creep for talking to a girl I don't know. Mostly it's the fear of rejection, like I'm bothering them somehow. Rejection maybe, ending up on TikTok if you get my drift. Worried about being judged for not meeting the woman's appearance standards. So to the ladies, do better. The environment that you've created for men is only leading to the singleness that you continue to complain about. And to the men, maybe knowing that these responses were a trend amongst 5,000 of you is a bit reassuring if anything.
A man being concerned about being viewed as creepy while approaching a woman shows an awareness of the reality of violence that women face when they're approached by men, when they deal with men, when they're talked to by men, when they're harassed by men, cackled by men, etc. And he does not want to be a part of said reality. There is literally nothing negative about men starting to be hyper aware of how they're interacting with women. There's no negative to that because it's been on the other end of the spectrum for so long, right? Like men have been so used to women being at their disposal and their availability whenever they want to, right? That now some men see as a slight that, oh my God, I have to worry about being viewed as a creep. You have to worry about being viewed as a creep while we have to worry about death. This is not a slight to you if you are concerned about being viewed as creepy. You should be. You should be thinking, how am I going to approach this woman in a way that is not going to scare her, that is not going to creep her out or freak her out or make her feel like I am dangerous. You should absolutely be thinking that. And then for the men that are like, well, how am I supposed to date women now? Oh my gosh, like, how am I supposed to go on dates? Do you hear yourself? Your complaint is that going out on dates with women is now going to be harder for you. That doesn't sound like the most privileged thing. Being harder for y'all to approach us is not oppression. That is not a slight to you. That is a byproduct of the violence that we have to deal with and face. It's a byproduct of all these other men in the world that make that so difficult. A black woman and girl was killed every 6 hours in 2020. Around 81% of women in general deal with harassment. Women get killed for saying no to men on the street. Until those statistics and statistics like it stop, we have a right to not be sure if you as a man approaching us is going to be one of those men. And you need to start thinking about your behavior and making sure you do not become one of those men or come off as one of those men. This is not a negative thing. A lot of y'all need to be concerned about being viewed as a creep. So
A lot of these modern women are just tied up in one-dimensional thinking. Really is all it is. Just one-dimensional thinking. And it's probably the reason that men just don't even approach anymore, because they don't want to hear a bunch of foolishness. Just you can't compromise. You can't understand what's going on. You can't understand how a man would think about things. It's just foolishness.
To my ladies, I need you to listen to me for a second. This is for you. Guys have no problem pursuing you. I promise you. It's in our nature to want to go after the woman that we want. But the reason why a lot of us men do not care to pursue women anymore is because we know in our hearts that we're in competition with so many other guys. And before you sit there and say, oh, what's wrong with a little bit of competition? These women know that. And instead of y'all going after the guy that y'all know is truly good for you, you'll sit there and let these men fight for you over and over again until the last one is standing. And quite frankly, for me, if I know I'm in competition with another guy and a girl is playing me against another dude, yeah, not happening. See, a problem with a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women, is that y'all ego tells y'all that y'all have so many options. But I'm going to tell you something as a man. Just because a lot of men want you does not mean they want you for real. A lot of these dudes lust after y'all. A lot of these dudes only want you for your flesh. So why you playing games with the dude that really rock with y'all? You choose the dude who really just want to use you, and then after he done with you, you end up saying all guys ain't shit. But really you the problem. Like I said before, I ain't got no problem going up to a girl, asking her for a phone number and everything like that. But as soon as I see that there's no interest, that's where you lost me. A lot of guys with self-respect are not going to sit around and just boost your ego while you entertaining other dudes. I go for the woman that want me.
are you hearing yourselves? Like, do you like women? What exactly is the tactic here? To beat down the self-esteem of all women collectively so that we have no choice but to lower our standards and accept your low effort / mediocre love attempts? I never said that men don't approach me when I go out. I was pointing out a pattern of behavior I was seeing at a party that I was at that I feel like is more representative of the average NYC man. Stingy men are a huge ick, so we are immediately not compatible. Reading through the comments in that last video, you guys sound pathetic. Why would any woman date you? Like being told off rip that you have zero desire to put in the effort to make any romantic connection work. Like you don't want to show interest by buying a drink. What is wrong with you? Who raised you? Like why do you think that's a good thing to admit on the internet? Like why go to parties then? What was the point of getting dressed? That particular party was not free, so why would you pay for a ticket? As a man hearing these questions, if your mind immediately jumps to I'm accusing you of being gay, then you just don't have the critical thinking skills required to like meaningfully engage in this discussion. Because it goes beyond buying drinks. It really just communicates that in a relationship, you are not willing to do the things that you know will make your partner happy or feel desired. And fear of rejection, like be fucking for real. You know who has a real reason to fear rejection? Women. Like we can literally die over a man's ego. Get some confidence and figure it out, because insecure men are literally a danger hazard for women. I've had a man literally chase me down the street and try to throw water bottles at my head simply because I didn't respond to a compliment that he gave me because I was walking down the street with headphones in.
And ask her for her name and try to start a conversation. You feel me? That's the first thing. The second thing is that you guys label that as toxic to only the men that you're not interested in. The problem with the men that you are interested in, the one that you are throwing all those hints to, well, guess what? Those men have a whole bunch of other better looking women throwing hints at them too. You can't compete, and that's what you need to understand. You can't compete with the other types of females that are throwing the same hints to those type of dudes, man. A lot of women forgot that they are average at best. You know, most of y'all below average. You feel me? So you need average or below average dude to feel comfortable approaching you. But when the average and below average dude feels like, man, if I approach any female at any time, this could turn real ugly for me. I mean, you're already screaming at the camera, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all did it to yourselves.
And we were just talking about how men never approach women.
Is this seriously coming as a surprise? And no, it's not for the following reasons about to be mentioned.
And I get it. It's nerve-wracking. It's uncomfortable. It could be like severe rejection, all these things.
But what?
It's frustrating when it feels like women have to do all of the work.
Oh yes, how terrible. It must be absolutely awful to have to put forth some effort into actually approaching someone that a person might be interested in. I can see why some women are complaining, because traditionally, men did all that work.
And we were sitting there observing, and there was only one girl that was really talking to a few men, and every single time she was approaching them.
Wait, I thought that's what some women wanted. It's almost like I have to keep repeating myself here. It seems that some women only want equality, only when it benefits them. But when it comes to actually getting something that they want, some women just expect it to come to them.
So what is it? Like, what do women need to do to be approachable?
I'm not even sure why they're asking these questions. If they have all of the answer and all of the knowledge as to what men need to do to be protectors and providers and to approach, then they should have the answers because they're healed, right? They've gone to therapy. So they should know how they need to look, how they need to show up, because that's what they keep on telling us. Well, we know how to show up. We know what we want. We know what we're looking for. But yet and still, you can't attract the man that you want. So that you're telling me that the man that you want is incompetent because he can't see you? He can't recognize you? You're telling me the man that you want, he's not healed enough? He doesn't have the vision enough to see, ooh, she's 1 in a million. Unless you're not 1 in a million and you're actually not healed. And he sees you as just another girl. He sees you as, she's nice, she's cute, but, you know, she's got a bad attitude. But I'm healed, bad attitude still. But I went to therapy, bad attitude. Oh, but I got a job, bad attitude. Oh, but I got a house, bad attitude. Bad attitude. Terrible person. I don't want to be involved with that. The fact of the matter is, you can do what men have asked you to do, have requested that you do. Be pleasant. Be approachable. What does it look like? Hey, can you smile? Don't tell me to smile. Hey, maybe drop the handkerchief. Well, I don't have a handkerchief. Okay, well, maybe you can go up to the man and say hi. Well, I don't want to do that. Okay, well, maybe you can wave to the man. I don't want to do that. Okay, well, maybe if the man sends you a drink, you can say, hey, thanks for the drink. That's a conversation starter. No problem. What's your name? Look at that. Look how easy that was. But y'all be thinking about what everybody else needs to do, but you don't be thinking about what you need to do. You be thinking about how to improve everybody else's life but yours. Sounds familiar. No accountability.
If you see a woman somewhere and your thought is, well, she probably won't even be interested, or I don't even think I will be enough, like good enough to talk to her, I'll probably get rejected, then approaching will never be worth it. Because as long as you're focused on the outcome, what you could get out of it, whether it's a good reaction, that's an outcome, or whether it's getting a woman's number, that's another outcome, then it's likely not going to be worth it. Okay, there's actually this really funny thing that a lot of guys keep posting on some of my social media, which is that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. And I find that so funny because it's true. Because statistically, right, most people you talk to aren't going to want to date you. Most people you talk to aren't going to be available to date, right? Most people that you talk to may not even want to connect further. So why on earth are we even considering this crazy act? It makes no sense. It makes no sense, right? And so many guys are telling me the juice is not worth the squeeze. And in my opinion, they got it all wrong. That's all wrong, in my opinion. This is why we need to really spend some time right now discussing the benefits of even attempting an approach, of even what would be the benefit of even getting rejected by a woman. See it very similarly as the gym. It's truly no different. It's no different, right? None of you guys are getting results right away at the gym, right? You're not going in lifting a dumbbell that's 30 pounds and having like massive biceps, right? None of that's happening. We don't see the gym as like, well, I didn't get it today. I didn't get it this week. This is dumb. This is pointless. This is a waste of my time. This is like bad for me because I'm not getting those big biceps right now. But obviously, right, we don't see the gym in that way. We see the gym as like, it's good for my mental health. It's helping me become stronger in ways. It's something that makes me feel good. I become more disciplined doing it. I learn new things each time I go. I push myself to see what I'm capable of. I like to see the growth over a period of time. We see the process of the gym as something worth it, as worthwhile. Right? But when we don't approach a lot of people and we're only focused on what we want to get from that woman, which is again a good reaction, a number, approval, of course it makes sense we don't want to continue or even start. That shit's like not worth it. I agree. If that's the way I'm looking at it.
Okay, I posted a video about like how a man approached me in the bar, and I was like, that was so funny, blah blah blah. Like, why don't more men do this because they're not doing it anymore? And then so many men were coming at me like, no, women should approach men. And then another barber who's 35 and single. Okay, the married man was like, yo, what is going on with dating these days? Like, what is happening? What is going on? And the single guy was like, well, I'm done approaching women because they're disrespectful and blah blah blah. And what happens when you get rejected or whatever? Like, what do you do? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, no, I actually fight them on it, and I want to like prove my point and just like. I'd ask him the next TikTok saying, well, you should approach men. Oh, so you want me to try to be feminine for you, but then also have that masculine quality of like going up to a man and like inserting my dominant, like what do you want?
It's crazy how many videos this girl makes, and she gets so many people besides me that give her constructive criticism, and then she just lets the point go over her head every single time. If it makes you feel masculine approaching a man that you're interested in starting a conversation, you're probably just not a feminine person. The same way, if I feel so feminine having to clean my house, then I'm not a masculine guy. Like, I can clean my house. What's so crazy is the main reason for why a lot of guys don't approach is a lot of men are afraid that they're going to be bothering you. They don't want to be disturbing you, because even if 99% of the time that I am correct, that, you know, I'm not bothering you, if I'm wrong 1% of those times, it's a bad look. And it is in your best interest, because of the fact that men are typically the ones that are the more aggressive one, the more threatening one out of the two, to probably go be the approacher. And what's so weird is she includes that portion in her video. At the end of the video, she talks about how, as a woman, I have to have my head on a swivel.
Women have to have their head on a swivel and be aware of their surroundings more than men.
Yes, I agree with you, and that's exactly why a lot of men aren't approaching, is they're afraid of bothering you. They know that you have your head on a swivel and they don't want to approach you and scare you. So I don't see why it's such a big ass. Like, look at how she's just like, she refuses to go and approach, but also expects a man to approach. I made a video literally a week ago saying that I agreed with a girl that said, you shouldn't be asking for anything that you also can't reciprocate. And she's asking, clearly wants to be approached, and then it's not happening, but she would never do it herself because it's so masculine. She goes on to play a clip of like a guy approaching her friend group, and he was super weird. He was like just being like really creepy, and like, yeah, she plays the clip and she's like, this is what we have to deal with.
Find her because she was not interested in him. What the fuck is going on?
Listen, that was creepy. That guy is weird for sure, but maybe the reason you're having a lot of these issues is because you're 30-something years old and you're still meeting people at clubs and nightclubs and bars. What kind of people do you think you're going to meet? This is my point, where you're going to meet higher quality options when you have high quality hobbies. When you're meeting people at nightclubs, at bars, of course this is going to happen. The irony, at the end of her video, she says this.
So if you are one of those people that are just getting rejected time and time again at the bar, look inward.
The irony for her to say this, because this is exactly her issue. She is getting rejected constantly. It's just different forms of rejection. I've talked about and made this video before, but the way that girls get rejected is much different than men. Because men most of the time are doing something or initiating something, that is how we get rejected. We get told no, the girl cancels on us, this. If you are not getting approached, because the sad reality is there are still women that are finding relationships. There are finding quality men. You are having that issue. That is an issue that's happening to you, and probably, of course, the friend group that you hang out with, because I can only assume friends that are alike hang out with each other. A lot of men have come to the conclusion that most men don't want to be in relationships. There's that much of an upside being in a relationship as a man. The reality is, for your age demographic, only 17% of women are typically single. So most women overall are still finding relationships. It might be more difficult, but most women are finding more relationships. But a lot of men have checked out of the dating market. For whatever reason you want to come to that conclusion, that's completely up to you. But I am one of like 7 people who have made a video on this girl, and I one time joined her live, and then she said, oh, one of my ops is in this chat. She thinks I'm an op because you make public videos discussing your relationship problems, and then when anybody comes on here and says, hey, you can fix this, you actually have a level of control here, you think they're your op. I never understand how people like this, who have whole pages dedicated to their relationship struggles, it never hits them at some point that maybe they're the source of the problem. Because taking any type of advice from a girl like this about relationships is like getting Super Bowl advice from somebody who's never even played football. She's always going to be a victim. It's never her fault. Men are too feminine, women are too masculine, whatever it is. It's just never their problem. But that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?